Hey everyone, I'm working to hit 1,000 subscribers, and I need your help to get there. If you enjoy this content, please hit that subscribe button right now.
The idea of a trade like this sounds ridiculous at first hearing, the sort of suggestion you laugh off before the kettle is even finished boiling. And yet, the longer you sit with it, the more it starts tapping you on the shoulder, quietly insisting it deserves attention. Because when a franchise spends an entire offseason tearing away familiar faces, sweeping its own house clean, stockpiling futures and clearing financial air, but still allows one particular name to hover stubbornly in trade conversations, that is not background noise, that is intent. Jojo Romero has not been forgotten in St. Louis. He has been positioned, and Toronto has noticed. On paper, the proposal is almost insultingly simple. The Cardinals send Jojo Romero. The Blue Jays send Davis Schneider. No sweeteners, no sprawling prospect lists, no financial gymnastics, just two players crossing paths. And that simplicity is exactly what makes it unsettling, because trades like this are never about what is visible. They're about what is absent. St. Louis spent the winter doing something they rarely do without ceremony, dismantling the core. Wilson Contreras, gone. Sonny Gray, gone. Nolan Arenado, gone. Brendan Donovan, gone. One after another, pillars removed. The message unmistakable. This was not retooling. This was a rebuild with its sleeves rolled up. Those moves restocked the farm, cleared payroll, and handed Chaim Bloom breathing room to shape the organization without the suffocating pressure of immediate contention. But then comes the anomaly. If the plan was purely to accumulate future value, Jojo Romero would have been flipped months ago as part of some tidy package. He wasn't. He lingered. He was discussed, monitored, but never moved. That hesitation speaks volumes. When a rebuilding team holds on to a valuable reliever, it is because they are waiting for the right fit, not just the highest offer. Bloom has been refreshingly direct. He wants a right-handed outfield bat who can play now. Not a lottery ticket, not a 2-year experiment, a player who can walk into the clubhouse, grab a glove, and contribute immediately. The free agent market offered very little mercy. Austin Hayes disappeared to Chicago, and the remaining options dried up almost overnight. So the search turned inward, towards trades. And when you overlay that need onto Toronto's roster, one name keeps resurfacing, no matter how uncomfortable it makes people feel. Davis Schneider. Schneider was never a problem in Toronto, but he was never a priority either. He owns a very specific, very real skill, punishing left-handed pitching. That isn't hypothetical. Ask Blake Snell. But rosters are living organisms, and Toronto's changed rapidly. The arrival of Kazuma Okamoto shifted Addison Barger to right field, which nudged George Springer into a full-time designated hitter role. Anthony Santander, now deep into a substantial contract, needs consistent time in left field after an injury-riddled year. Nathan Lukes remains. Miles Straw fills the speed and defense niche. The doors didn't slam shut on Schneider because he declined. They closed because the room rearranged itself. Here's the truth that competitive teams understand, even if fans resist it. Players are not traded out of sentiment. They are traded for fit. For Toronto, Schneider became overlap. For St. Louis, he becomes an answer, a right-handed bat who can immediately stabilize an outfield that was intentionally stripped bare. He is not a superstar, but he is usable, dependable, and present. In a proper rebuild, those qualities are not luxuries, they are necessities. Now turn the chessboard around. Toronto is not rebuilding. Toronto is chasing wins right now. And if there was one wound that refused to heal last season, it lived in the bullpen. Leads dissolved. Late innings became exercises in anxiety. Games that should have been banked slipped away, and the standings reflected it. This is where Jojo Romero stops being a name and starts being a solution. He doesn't arrive as a savior. He arrives as a stabilizer, a late-inning arm that allows the manager to breathe when tension tightens. That kind of reliability is rare, and when it appears on the market, it is rarely cheap. Pause for a moment and ask the question that defines everything. Who is really giving up more? On the surface, it looks like Toronto surrendering a young bat for a reliever, and the internet recoils at that idea. But baseball does not exist in isolation. Romero is not a luxury for the Blue Jays. He is structural reinforcement. Without bullpen stability, offensive talent becomes noise. With it, every run carries weight. And for St. Louis, Schneider is not a throw-in. He is a bridge, someone who helps keep the product competitive while prospects mature behind the scenes. There is also the human reality we tend to ignore. Relievers exist on a knife's edge. One injury, one mechanical tweak, one rough stretch, and value evaporates. Moving Romero now is selling at the right moment. Schneider, as a position player, offers predictability and daily utility. It's a quieter kind of value, but one rebuilders respect. Opening day is creeping closer. There is no time left for prolonged experiments or mid-season wishful thinking. Fix the issue now or let it define the year. And listen carefully to the noise around this rumor. Blue Jays fans dislike losing Schneider, but almost always end with the same sentence: the bullpen needs help. Cardinals fans fear another departure, but admit the outfield needs someone ready immediately. No one is celebrating, and that, more often than not, is the mark of a fair trade. If you're enjoying this breakdown, make sure you like the video, share it with fellow fans, and subscribe to the Blue Jays Report, because this is exactly where the real conversations happen. Strip away the emotion, and what remains is clarity. Toronto gains late-inning stability and a genuine chance to turn close games into wins. St. Louis gains immediate offensive functionality without derailing the rebuild. Neither side wins headlines. Both sides align their clocks. And in baseball, timing is everything. So I'll leave you with this. If this deal lands tomorrow, it won't be shocking, it will be confirming. Confirming that the Cardinals know what they are building and that the Blue Jays understand talent without closure doesn't win championships. Let me know in the comments whether you make this move if you're Toronto, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the Blue Jays Report for more insight as this story continues to unfold.